Let's talk about sensitivity, specificity, and predictive value of a test. So, what is sensitivity? Sensitivity means among the total diseased population, how many has true positive result of that test. So the denominator is total diseased population. Diseased population means this is true positive also and false negative also. So that test you did was negative, but that patient has disease, so that is false negative in your test. So the denominator is total diseased population. So if your test has high sensitivity, it means that you are better able to pick up the disease from the community. Among the diseased population, you are that much high, you can pick up the disease like 97% or 98% your sensitivity. It means that you have better ability, or your test has better performance for picking up disease. It is not missing the disease in the community. So in other way, it means that it helps to rule out disease. So if your test has high sensitivity, then you can call that this community or this patient does not has disease. So if you have tested HIV, if you have seen HIV tests, they do multiple testing. I think 3 testing. If it comes positive, then it again do another test. Then that also comes positive, then do another test. Why? Because the first test it has high sensitivity, so it does not miss the disease in the community. It tries to pick up all the disease in the community. Even if it picks up high number of false positive, it does not matter, but it should not miss the disease. False negative should be low. In other words, that's why HIV test, even it comes positive, there can be more number of false positive. That's why they do another test. So to confirm whether it is true positive or false positive. Similarly, what is a specificity of a test? A specificity means that among total healthy populations, how much percentage has truly negative disease. Right? So it is true negative by true negative plus false positive. So what is true negative plus false positive? It is total healthy population. Among total healthy populations, how much percentage it has truly identified true negative who do not have disease. So if some test has high specificity, 98% specificity or 99% specificity, it helps to rule in disease. A specificity helps to rule in disease. Like you can that much confidently you can say that this person has a disease if that has high specificity. What is positive predictive value of a test? So positive predictive value, it means that among those who tested positive, some might have tested falsely positive, some might have tested true positive. So it compares those total positive with the true positive. So this formula of this is true positive divided by true positive plus false positive. So total positive, among total positive cases, how much truly tested, right? Truly tested positive. So if some test has positive predictive value of 98%, what does it mean? It means that among the total tested positive, true positive, false positive, there is that much percentage chance that this has truly tested positive. Some has also false positive. So when the false positive is low, then positive predictive value will increase, right? There is inverse relationship between false positive and positive predictive value. So when false positive is low and true positive is high, then positive predictive value of the test will be high. So what is negative predictive value? Negative predictive value means among those total who tested negative, how much truly tested negative. True negative by true negative plus false negative. So when the result came negative, there can be false negative, right? That person might have the disease, but the test is negative. So that might be the possibility. So taking that possibility into account, how much has truly negative result? So if some test has 99% negative predictive value, it means that you can that much confidently say that this patient does not have disease when the test comes negative. So for negative predictive value to go high, false negative should be low, true negative should be high, right? So true negative, truly it is a negative. It means that patient does not have disease. So if some test has a 99% negative predictive value, like D-dimer has high negative predictive value, right? D-dimer in pulmonary embolism, if you do D-dimer and it comes negative, then you can pretty much say that this patient does not have pulmonary embolism, that has very high negative predictive value. So you can that much confidently say that this patient does not have pulmonary embolism. So that is negative predictive value. And this negative predictive value, positive predictive value depends upon the prevalence of the disease where you are conducting the test. Where was the test devised? The test may have devised in one state of United States of America. There was that much certain prevalence of that disease and that test was conducted, and this test you are implementing in your community in a South Asian country where there is very high prevalence of that disease, right? So when prevalence of the disease is increased, then positive predictive value of the test will increase and negative predictive value will decrease. So this predictive value of the test depends upon the prevalence. And if you conduct that test in some community where there is very low prevalence of the disease, then negative predictive value will be very high, but positive predictive value will be low. So there is positive relationship between prevalence and positive predictive value, and inverse relationship between negative predictive value and prevalence of the disease in the community. So this predictive value fluctuates with the prevalence, but likelihood ratio does not change with the prevalence of the disease, like positive likelihood ratio, negative likelihood ratio. So positive likelihood ratio, what is positive likelihood ratio? So I'll continue this likelihood ratio in another video.